is Laura Ashley Medina, and this is my interpersonal communications project for HSCO 508. I'll begin with the introduction, followed by an overarching goal, a behavioral blend and background, some communication barriers, resources and strategies, an action plan, and I'll conclude the presentation. So, over the past 8 weeks, I have been able to recognize my communication skills and understand just exactly how my personality plays a pivotal role in handling interactions with others, specifically my strengths and weaknesses. I hope to be able to apply my newly learned skills into a real-life settings on a day-to-day basis and strengthen my interpersonal communications with those around me. So let's talk about an overarching goal. The overarching goal that I have is to mainly improve the communication skill set, deepen my interactions that I make with people, and apply the knowledge that I learned in this course and utilize it in a real world settings, hopefully to incorporate this course as an additional resource in my criminal justice field. So a little bit about myself. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm happily married to my husband. I am a mother to boy-girl twins. I joined the Houston Police Department when I was 22 years old, and I served on patrol for about 3 years before transferring into the detective role, which I currently am, and that's my career resume as of today. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Houston downtown, and I hope to be able to complete my master's with Liberty this coming December. A little bit more about my background. I come from a two-parent family, and I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. I am a detective in the Special Victims Adult Sex Crimes Unit, and I investigate heinous crimes ranging from sexual assault all the way to indecent exposures. I speak with victims on a day-to-day basis, and when I complete with the criminal justice side of the investigation, I hope to be able to bridge the gap between myself and the justice advocate, which we transfer our complainants to. I hope to eliminate any barriers that we have or any uncomfortableness that the complainant might feel when they are speaking with police officers, because in today's climate, we're not always favored. And I hope to be able to be more welcoming and accepting to them. And hopefully they will see us and see me in a different light. So at the beginning of the semester, we took a uniquely extensive questionnaire, and there was an acronym called DISC, D-I-S-C, and from that I had the behavioral blend and personality type of what was expected of me was the inspirational influencer, or I. What actually is me is the inspirational specialist, IS. Some positives about my personality is people tend to find me more influential and stable. People are easily drawn to me, and they find me very welcoming, and usually people love being around me, and I generally like to please people and making sure people are happy and in our good spirits. Some negatives about my personality is people with this type of personality come off immature and slightly sometimes emotional, which is true to me, and they want to constantly be liked by people, and at times I find myself wanting to be silly at inappropriate times, or kind of being inappropriate, or just kind of carefree, and this can be mistaken for being immature, which I feel that I always want to be happy. I always want to be in good spirits, and some people can misconstrue that for being just not being, I guess, just being more immature. And it's just kind of my way of wanting to be liked, and not wanting there to be any type of negative energy. Like I said, a downside to my personality is at times people can take advantage of that, and they don't take me seriously. So some interpersonal communication barriers. So when I'm speaking with somebody, you might develop some barriers like me: outside distraction, information overload, fatigue, stress, flat-brained, and then when you're talking to somebody, you're staring at them, but you're not truly comprehending what they're saying because you have other things going on, and your pollution and noise pollution. As a wife, mother, full-time student, full-time employee, it's fair to say that my I will experience communication barriers. I'm constantly going from one end to the other, and I'm at the end of the day very, very drained. And I give my best at everything that I do, for my work life, family life, parenting life, friendships, and it's just one of those things is that I will feel drained at times, and it's one of my things that I always want to make sure that people are doing okay before I'm okay, and that's kind of not okay. So what I spoke on earlier is noise pollution. So there's two types of noise pollutions. Noise pollution is internal and external. Noise pollution is the internal. Noise pollution is distracting going on inside of your head, that can direct your communication between you and the other person elsewhere. So causes of that is fatigue and emotional stress. Some external noise pollution could be distractions from the environment around you. Some causes of that could be music going around, people talking, chattering, just the environment around you that can distract you from the communication between you and the other person. So what exactly is communication? Stewart defines communication, bridges not walls, as listening as a process of inhaling and exhaling. So while we're talking, we're noticing how people are responding, and while we're listening, we're giving off mixed and primarily non-verbal cues. So you're inhaling the conversation between you and that person, and then to give good listening skills and communication skills, you're giving it back by confirming what they're saying and giving a dialogue between the two. And that's the inhaling and exhaling process that Stewart spoke of. So communication is interpretation, is how we are perceiving things in the environment. It's in three processes: organizing, selecting, and fearing. Organizing the thoughts that are being said. Go ahead and selecting the cues that you're wanting to pay attention to, and in fearing to make your overall judgment of that. The conversation is being told, and those are type of the process that Stewart speaks of in Bridges Not Walls. So some resources and strategies that I want to touch base on that I believe that can help in communicating with others is giving your undivided attention in anything and everything, and ensure that your attention is all theirs. Peterson speaks of this in Why Don't We Listen Better, is avoiding going flat-brained and incorporate good listening measures. And it's very simple. Speaking with somebody, making sure that you're listening to them and everything that you're talking to them about can avoid those distractions. Minimizing distractions, people, things, secondary thoughts, personal fatigue, exhaustions, and emotional stress, that can play a key part in miscommunication. And specifically self-care. When you take care of yourself, you're able to take care of somebody else. An analogy that I would like to use is if you're on an airplane, they always say, pull the mask down, take care of yourself before you do somebody else. And that's very important. If you're not able to take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of somebody else? And listen to their needs, listen to their wants, listen to their communications between the two. It's important to take care of yourself before you take care of somebody else. So I would like to incorporate an article that Rabinovich spoke of in empathetic listening is a transferable skills, meaning, and he speaks of this as beginning at a general level. Empathy is usually defined as the understanding of sensitivity towards an ability to adequately respond to others' feelings. So giving good measures, listening measures, empathetic, good listening skills, giving good and warm feeling techniques, it's all part of the communication process in order to have a successful communication between you and the other person. An action plan that I would like to touch base on is in 3 parts. 1, being able to identify times I become impatient when I'm engaging in communication with the other person. 2, going over clarifying techniques, understanding and reacting to emotions, and eliminate internal noise and external noise pollution is very key. And 3, always improving the communication that you have with you and another person. And each communication, each encounter with somebody is always in a practice, and you can build upon that. I would like to conclude that over this past course, I've been given the tools and resources to broaden my communication skill set. I understood that I had weaknesses. I understood that I did have strengths. And I hopefully that this course gives me the fundamentals of communication and be able to set the groundwork in order to have successful interaction between me and another person. This will deepen the relationships that I have and hopefully have positive interactions overall. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you found that this video is informative.